on the 50th anniversary a year ago that getting off the gold standard actually led to the rise of cryptocurrency back in 1971. So it's an interesting concept. I want to bring in a host of Coin Stories podcast, Natalie Brunell. Natalie, you know, the rest of the headline goes on to read, the decision has led to volatile financial markets, geopolitical tensions, and inflated prices. Is there a connection between that and the rise of cryptocurrency?
Oh, absolutely, Charles. So good to see you. Yeah, Bitcoiners talk about that event a lot because ever since then, our money is essentially now backed by debt and the threat of violence. So when the U.S. essentially defaulted through Nixon's closing of the gold window, it really opened up the door for this endless money printing and this official move to creditism over capitalism, constant monetary and fiscal intervention, which, by the way, is a very tempting illusion, right? Because it can create this rapid growth and wealth in the immediate term. It's like a drug addict getting high. But once that high starts to wear off, the withdrawal sets in, you need more drugs to get that same high. And in the case of our government, we never wean off the stimulation, the low interest rates. We constantly pump up even bigger bubbles, and it leads to more wealth concentration. And unfortunately, we're at that stage of creditism where we can't produce real growth anymore. We can't service our debt and obligations without printing ever more money, going further and further into debt. Right. And that's why we need an alternative system in the long run, and that's Bitcoin.
And in the meantime, the money printing, I think, will continue, to your point. You know, yesterday, the Walmart CEO bragged about the fact that they're going to be able to take more market share because come Thanksgiving, they're going to have you're going to be able to go to Walmart and be able to buy enough food to feed a family of 4 for less than $50. I mean, that's good, but it's kind of scary that we're talking like that in America, isn't it?
Yeah, you know, Charles, I think you've tweeted about this before. Every generation has this nostalgia for their youth, and this isn't the America that we grew up in. We used to have this strong middle class where people didn't worry about affording retirement or their groceries or putting their kids through school. You could at one point put your money in the bank and actually save with an interest rate. We used to manufacture things like you were mentioning in the last segment, and we didn't just expect handouts or entitlements or loans to be forgiven. In fact, I think we would have been ashamed to ask for the government for that. And now I feel like we just identify ourselves by who we voted for in the last election. Yeah. And we don't realize that it's really the system at large that needs to be reprogrammed. And we finally have a potential solution through technology, which is Bitcoin, which takes the power of money away from the state and returns it to the people who work and produce and innovate. And Natalie, that's what Bitcoin really means to us. So.
I got 30 seconds. This reset that you're talking about, what role do Americans have in this? In other words, should we also be jolted back to a period where we put more emphasis on hard work and saving a lot of money? Because this conspicuous consumption that we spend no matter what is also playing a big role with inflation and money printing, isn't it?
Absolutely. I think we need to go back to a nation of savers as opposed to consumers and people just going into debt like our government is so good at doing. And I really think that Bitcoin will be as revolutionary to freedom and creating wealth and prosperity as the internet was. And we need to embrace it as such. And this is a good time to dollar cost average.
Natalie, you're absolutely fantastic. You know, and you're I'm a little bit younger than you, but I want to go back to those nostalgic times too.
Me too.
Talk to you again soon. All right, folks, coming up, the student-led